Hello everyone. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about open protocols. At Schneider, we believe that open protocols enable stronger e-mobility solution. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we hope that with this session, you'll learn more about the different protocols that are there, why they're important, and how to use them. So I'm Ronan. I'm your host today. And we have Trong Lu with us. Trong is SVP of Product at EV Connect. Trong, you want to tell us about a bit about EV Connect?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for having me, Ronan. EV Connect, we are a leading provider of EV charging solutions. We offer a robust software platform that enables customers to manage and monitor their EV charging infrastructure. Our platform is cloud-based. It offers a number of features like real-time monitoring of stations, remote diagnostics, energy management, payment capabilities, and a number of other features across a broad range of charging use cases and business models, from public charging to private charging to fleet. As part of the solution, we also offer a EV driver app for drivers to have a seamless charging experience. And then last but not least, our platform is hardware agnostic, meaning that we can integrate with any charger OEM that supports OCPP, which is one of the key open protocols in our industry, and what we're going to be talking about more.
All right. So before we go any further, let's try to define what an open protocol is.
Sure. An open protocol in the EV charging industry is basically a standard communication protocol for interoperability between systems to be able to communicate with each other. The reason why it's important within our industry is that it ultimately enables more choice, both for EV charging infrastructure owners, as well as EV drivers in kind of where they charge, regardless of charger brand or manufacturer.
Okay, so why are open protocols important? Why should we care about them?
Yeah, it's good question. Open protocols are really important. It's like most complex solutions, e-mobility solutions require multiple systems to communicate with each other. So without open protocols, the development effort to enable those systems to communicate with each other would be significantly more complex. So with open protocols, or the benefits of open protocol is that we can ultimately, it enables more partners and companies to collaborate with each other and build these solutions in a much more cost-effective way. It increases the rate of innovation and ultimately benefits the customer. So for EV Connect, we really believe strongly in open partnership and open protocols. Mm-hmm. We see a real need for multiple systems to come together to form a whole solution for our customers. And we see that open protocols and partnership are the way to get there, the best way to get there, and ultimately accelerate the adoption of e-mobility.
Okay. So you mentioned that there's there's communication between different elements that are part of the e-mobility solution. So do you want to walk us through what those different elements are that we typically find in a EV infrastructure project?
Yeah, sure. I got a little out of there. In terms of charging solution or charging projects, obviously there's the EVs themselves. There's the charging stations, and then a back-end charger management system like ours. But beyond that, the applications that are involved really, really vary depending on the use case. So for fleet use case, for instance, there's most likely a fleet telemetry system. Mm-hmm. A dedicated fleet management software system that could be involved. For like a destination or a workplace charging use case, you might find a building management system integration involved. There's microgrid, like you'll want to link to the controller there, and then also on the like VVP and demand response is also becoming increasingly popular to lower the cost of energy management as well.
All right, thanks. So now that we know the different elements of the system, let's dive on the protocols themselves.
Sure.
So you want to get us started with the protocols that have been widely adopted by the industry?
Yeah, we can talk through a few. I mean, the main protocol that you'll see across the board in many solutions is OCPP, what I mentioned earlier. That stands for Open Charge Point Protocol. It's the standardized way for chargers to communicate with a back-end software platform like ours. There's different flavors of OCPP, which we can get into further. But typically that's how chargers communicate to the cloud.
All right, so EPOCPP have been widely adopted by the charger OEMs and also by the backends. Does it mean that we typically get a good interoperability between the two?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great question. Unfortunately, no. It's a little tricky because OCPP is a protocol, but it's oftentimes interpreted and implemented in slightly different ways, which causes interoperability issues because of that. A way that we look to mitigate that on at EV Connect is just to develop really close relationships with our charger OEM partners. For example, we have a charger certification program where we thoroughly kind of test every charger model from different OEMs on our platform to make sure that it's compatible. So doing that really enables us and our customers to get ahead of painful interoperability issues in the field, and still get the benefits of an open system.
Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned that there's different variants or flavor of OCPP. Do you want to walk us through the different version of the protocol?
Yeah, sure. There's so the main version that's adopted today is OCPP 1.6J. That's the standard in the market today. But the version that's the latest version is OCPP 2.0.1. It's not widely adopted yet, but in the future it will enable better security, better device management. It enables also features around ISO 1518, so it's important that you find a partner that supports 1.6J, but also has the ability in the future to upgrade to 2.0.1 in the field when the time comes.
Yeah. So you mentioned ISO 15118.
Mm-hmm.
That's also an important standard. You want to tell us more about this one?
Yeah, the acronyms don't stop. It's a lot of different acronyms. So on ISO 1518, that's the international standard for communication between the EV and the chargers, basically. So it's really important to enable secure communication and features like plug and charge, bidirectional power flow, etc.
Okay. So we talked about interoperability between the charger and the car, between the charger and the backend. What about the charging networks themselves? Do you see a risk on interoperability there?
Yeah, that's a really important topic for a lot of our customers, because from a driver experience perspective, it's without interoperability between charging networks, every driver would have to download a different driver app for every single charging network that they use, which isn't very practical or a good experience. I mean, in Europe, there's already thousands of charging networks, right? So obviously that's not going to be practical to not have interoperability. And in North America, the number of charging networks will only grow as the market here grows. So that's a really important aspect. OCPI is or Open Charge Charge Point Interface is the protocol that enables roaming, mm-hmm. and that enables networks to communicate with each other, exchange station information, transaction information, in order to enable the drivers to charge on multiple networks from a single app. So it's really important when you're looking for a software provider to ensure that they support OCPI, the latest version 2.2, and also importantly have agreements in place with the major networks and roaming platforms in your geography.
Thank you for that recommendation.
Yeah.
Is there other important protocol that we've not talked about yet?
see. I think so. We mentioned VVP and demand response earlier, so it might be useful to touch on that. I see Varun smiling there. He knows he can probably give a whole lecture on this, but just at an overview, it's the key protocols there are OpenADR and IEEE 2030.5. Those protocols basically enable communications between VPP platforms, the utilities, and charging back or kind of device management backend platforms like ours to communicate with each other. It allows the VPP to basically manage kind of power consumption and put power back in the grid and shift demand, etc., based on by communicating with the various distributed resources. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too badly, Varun.
He's giving you a thumbs up. All right. So over the years, how has the industry grown in terms of adoption of those different standards? What have you seen?
Yeah, there's definitely increase in adoption in terms of open protocols. A lot of people, are definitely starting to realize the benefits of adopting open protocols. So we're seeing a lot more collaboration and compatibility within the industry. We only expect that to grow. I mean, and also like the advancements and innovative technologies that are coming out around smart charging, dynamic load management, grid services, etc., are relying on open protocol communication between the various systems. So we see that continue to fuel the growth of open protocols.
Thank you. And now the trick question about the future. So what do you foresee? Do you see some new innovations or new space for open protocols in the industry?
Yeah, I think the future is I think open protocols are going to play a huge role in shaping the industry in the future, both from a, like you said, innovation perspective, new new via the grid integrations, wireless charging. All these things will require communication between multiple systems, and open protocols will be leveraged for those. I think on the regulatory side, you'll see increasingly more open protocols required in regulations to ensure fair competition. So I really see open protocols as shaping the future of EV charging.
Thank you so much, Strong. That was great to have your expertise on this topic and on EV Connect and the protocols. So we invite all of you to come in and join us at the booth. You'll have opportunities to learn more about what we've been talking about. We have people from AutoGrid, EV Connect. You'll have our microgrid offer, the power distribution, and of course the chargers, both for commercial and residential. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.